While it's the face of our country, we have a national prevalence of about 10 to 11%. Out of a population of 50 million people, we have an excess of 5.6 million people living with HIV in South Africa, which is the highest number in the world. 1.5 million people are like me living on ARV treatment, which is still too few. People are still too scared to get treated and tested. Although HIV is seen as a manageable disease in modern society, the ancient grip of stigma still raises its ugly head everywhere in the world. People are still too afraid to disclose their status because the fear of rejection, the fear of discrimination, the fear of being judged. So people keep silent, mainly because HIV is widely perceived as an outcome of sexual promiscuity and low moral character. People living with HIV often say that it's more difficult to live with the stigma than with the disease itself. So to come back to the question, the face of HIV in our country is black, it's white, it's straight, it's gay, it's rich, it's poor. It's affected almost every sector of our society in South Africa. The search for the next positive hero in South Africa will address misconceptions about people living with HIV and AIDS. The Positive Hero finalists at the end of the day will assist in changing people's perceptions, their attitudes, people's responses to those living with HIV. The Positive Heroes will share their personal stories and experiences living with HIV and AIDS so that the general public can relate, realizing that HIV is not something that happens to other people, but that it's in fact all around us, and that this can happen to anyone. Like I said earlier, the face of HIV is black, it's white, it's gay, it's straight, it's rich, it's poor. So the funny thing about HIV is that it doesn't discriminate, but yet we do. Now, stigma creates silence. Another mission for the project is for the Positive Heroes to come forward and disclose and encourage others to do the same and stop feeding this epidemic with silence. Now, the participants will design and implement fundraising events for their own selected HIV charities and NGOs, reaching out, giving back, paying it forward, making a difference not only in their own lives but to the entire HIV community. Now, the public will also get a chance to vote for their own positive hero, their own favorite positive hero. So we're really trying to get everybody involved to create more awareness. In the end, the positive heroes will be the cardinal evidence that people with HIV are extraordinary people living positive and productive lives. So at the end, we want to move away from feeding HIV with fear, but with hope instead.